Christine Batoon here with Mind Rewire. I haven't been on here in a little bit, but we're going to get some stuff going again real soon. So I want you to know that first of all, if you haven't been over to my website lately, shoot on over there. You can take a look. We've got some new things posted. My content looks a little bit different. You can go ahead and book a 30-minute session if you want to, just to talk to me and see if Mind Rewire is something that's right for you. One of the things that I do a lot with people and I work on a lot with people is how to change their subconscious mind and how to help people find peace. More and more people that are coming into me are asking me pretty much just that question, is how do they find peace? How do you find a place inside your mind or body where you can just settle in and just be silent inside yourself? People have a serious hard time with that. Just settling in and finding that place where they're quiet and where they're content. So one of the things I want to show you today, and I want to give you this information, is so that you can find peace easily and pretty quickly, actually, in any situation. So you can see I'm standing outside. I'm actually standing out here in front of my bird feeders, if I've got them in there. And these are where our hummingbirds come. We've got this positioned right in front of our door here. So you can see, and I've actually got a really nice herb garden down there. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. A bee just now flew right in front of me. So we've got a ton of bees that actually come to these feeders right here. I don't know if you can see that little guy in there. Right now there's not as many of them as normal because it's the middle of the day, but in the mornings and afternoon this place is swarming with bees. And I absolutely just love it. I find it very peaceful. So it's that peace, or that sense, that feeling that we're looking for. Where do you find it? Where do you normally sense it inside your body? So one of the things that we're taught to do is we're taught to sense peace by thinking about it. That's the wrong way to do it. If you're up in your head thinking about wanting peace, you've gone the wrong direction. We want you to bring peace into a place in your body where you can feel it and actually know that it's there, know what it is, know what that feeling is, so that you can access it and find it all the time. So if you're in your head thinking about peace, you're in the storage locker trying to remember a time, which is a great place to start. But once you find that feeling, so I can find it just by watching my little bee friends here. If the hummingbirds show up, I can watch it by finding them. And just sit with it. Sit with the calmness. And especially outside, you'll find it really easily too, right? If you're outside, you can find peace really easily. If you can't, you're stuck in your head. Right? So what we're trying to do is get everything out of the head and pull it down. A lot of times you'll hear people saying things like bring it into your heart space, meaning the center of your chest, right? That's your heart space. If you're bringing stuff from your brain down into your heart, it's going to feel differently. If you don't know that, give it a try. Access a memory. Think about something that maybe causes a little bit of turmoil, and then pull it down into your heart and just notice how it feels. Now your heart produces oxytocin and serotonin. It produces some of the chemicals, the same chemicals and hormones that your brain produces. But it processes them differently. And it sends them back out differently into your system, which is why it feels different when you pull it down into that center. Now I want you to try something else. I want you to take that same idea, take that same thought. I've got a bunch of fighting birds over here. That same thought, and instead of pulling it down into your heart space, I want you to pull it all the way down into your gut. So we're pulling it down really low. Okay, so from head to heart, feel it, and then pull it all the way down to your gut. And again, just feel it. Once you've got that feeling inside your gut, some people say, I just don't feel anything. That's peace. Sit in that for a minute and just notice how it feels. Right? Hang out there for a second. See how long you can hold on to it. Some would even say, from a biblical perspective, that's actually the peace of God. When you can pull everything down into your gut, when the Bible talks about the heart, it's actually talking about the gut. Your gut actually produces more. That was a big bird. Your gut actually produces more neurochemicals than your head or your heart. Inside your gut, if you're not feeling a ton of anything, sometimes it's because your gut has been totally turned off. You got too many chemicals, too much swelling, too much inflammation. I'm going to turn here for a second and see if you can catch a glimpse of my blue jay friend. He's over there sitting on top of the water feeder. Nope, he just took off. He'll actually sit outside here. My husband has him trained. He'll sit outside screaming at us until we give him pistachios. That's what he's going to start doing up there now. Right? Okay, so back to the head, heart, and gut. So in your gut, you're producing more of these neurochemicals. If you're not really feeling much of anything, or you're just like, feels dead, probably need to do a cleanse to clean your gut out. You probably need to do something to start to move out either parasites or move out the chemicals and toxins, and just get the gut flowing again. Get everything moving in there the way it's supposed to. If you're not feeling anything and you're just like, I just don't feel anything, that could be the peace of God. That could be the peace that you're sensing that I'm actually talking about. In your head, you're thinking about stuff. You'll get turmoil, you'll get anxiety, you'll get stress. You add stories to issues and things. You add more information. From a heart standpoint, all you're doing is feeling. You can be open and expressive. It's loving, it's caring, it's compassionate. It's how we reach out to other humans. In your gut, it translates into total peace. And when you can sit inside that peace, there's a different level of healing that can occur. There's a different level and a different state of being that can occur. And when you can clean that system out and get it back into the shape that it should be in, and I don't mean like a 6-pack kind of shape, although that would be nice too. Or is it an 8-pack? 6-pack. I don't even know. Right now I have a 1-pack and it looks kind of like a barrel, but that's all right. I'm gonna get working on that again. If you can get it healthy and get everything moving in there the way it's supposed to, it'll feel totally different. So I'm going to start I don't even know how long it's going to be, but I'm going to go through the process a day at a time. It's going to be posted on my YouTube channel here under a cleanse. It's not going to really be a fast. It's literally going to be a cleanse. I'm going to walk you through all the processes I'm going through. I had the pleasure of talking to Dr. Newsom the other day, if you know who he is, on, I think we were on a Zoom channel, I'm not sure, but it was with Jonathan Odo of Autoimmune Secrets, and he was allowing people to come on and ask questions. And so I was just asking a question about how to heal some of the rest of the symptoms I have going on. So I'm going to be really transparent about what I've got going on in my body right now. I'm still healing from some of my symptoms and issues. And what has happened is I had got them to a place where they were really super calm and almost, well, seemed non-existent. Got myself into a situation with some stress that was external, and it kicked the system right back into full gear. And I felt the ramifications of it, and actually got had a physical manifestation from it. And what Dr. Newsom gave me was a way to remedy and actually heal my gut from an internal physical level. And what I think it's going to do is actually allow me to heal even deeper than that. So it'll be that journey. You're going to go on that journey with me. If you want to follow along and do it with me, you're more than welcome to. You'll be able to leave comments and post what you're going through also. But I'm going to start that next week. And what I'll do going into it is be posting where we're starting. We're going to start with an intestinal cleanse. I'll give you all the stuff that I'm doing for that. I'm going to be very transparent about it. So some of it might be kind of gross and icky, but we're going to go into it anyway and really get it done. And then just follow along as things are changing. So today one of my goals is to get all my measurements taken so I can have a starting point. I'll have something to weigh it against and see where I started and see where I end up. And then also just journaling about how I'm feeling emotionally and spiritually going through the process also. So we're looking for all of these different kinds of changes and different ways to measure the experience itself. So I hope you join me. I hope you follow along. My name is Christy Mattoon. I do have 2 best-selling books out. I have a little bit of knowledge in this area. I have a nutritional, I don't even know what you'd call it. I never really used it because I didn't buy into the nutrition the way they were teaching it, but certified in that, and took it a whole different direction because what we were doing didn't make a ton of sense. And so you can kind of get my eyeball on it, but always use your own discretion. Always use your own discretion. What does your body need? What does your body feel? What do you need for yourself spiritually? It's very important that you stay in tune with yourself going through processes like this. So while we're doing this, I want you to definitely feel free to post on the site itself, but also take your own journal, right? Take your own measurements, take your own notes going into it. So coming out the other end, you can see where you can start and then you can see where you ended up. I think it's just a very important thing to do. So I want to bless you on this journey. I'm going to bless my own body on this journey, and we're going to see where we walk out on the other side. I'm guessing it's going to probably be about a year-long journey of cleansing. I won't lie to you. What Dr. Newsom told me the other day was I've probably got about 2 years of cleaning to do. We're talking about parasites. Jonathan talked a bit about parasites. If you don't know what autoimmune secrets are, if you don't know that title or that stage, it's a documentary that Jonathan Odo put out, and it's very intense. He's got a lot of doctors, a lot of backup in there, a lot of knowledge in there. I highly recommend you look him up. I'm actually in the group that gets to hear some of the doctors after, right? We get to talk to them and do some of that stuff. So I bought into that program, and I don't do that a ton anymore. But I bought into that program just to get to hear and see what these doctors were saying. So the stress and the emotional part of the system, for me, was what kicked my autoimmune disease process back in high gear. Blood, you know, take your blood on if you want to. Do it from that angle. Sorry about that. I keep getting messages on here. Do it from that angle. I'm not going to. I'm not going to step back into the doctor's office and go down that road again, because I know where it almost landed me last time. You know, wanting to put me back on thyroid medication, even though my thyroid numbers were normal and everything was fine. So to me, that was just kind of weird. I'm going to do it strictly from a place of physical measurement and then just measuring how I feel on a daily basis. You do it how you need to. If you need to go get your blood drawn, or you want to go get your blood drawn, I highly recommend it. Go do that. Get it checked, get it looked at, so you have numbers, right, that you can put against it, and you can say, well, this is where I started, this is where I ended. I'll tell you a quick story of a client I had the other day. Beautiful young lady. She's been fighting with her weight for a while. I've worked with her 5 or 6 times on the emotional end of it, so actually looking at her subconscious stress and where it could be taking a part and having a role in her journey. And what we found out was that the stress that she's under isn't just past stress, it's current stress, it's ongoing. She's in an ongoing issue right now that's kicking up past stress. So it's interesting how it all kind of played out. What it's done for her our last session, getting rid of and calming some of that stress in her system and giving her tools where she could keep it going, what it did was actually lower her glucose count by about 50 points. So her count, her level, the doctors are monitoring her really closely right now, and she has to take her blood every day. And steadily for the past 3 days. Sorry about that. How you do this on a phone and not get all these interruptions. Anyway, I love you. Blessings on your journey. Come back every day from this point on to get follow-ups on where we start. Tomorrow I'll give you ideas on how we're going to start. Maybe some things you want to have on board and close at hand. Definitely water supply and stuff like that has to be fully clean. We're going to be ditching alcohol, caffeine, and sugar right off the get-go, right? If you're already off of that stuff, you're like ahead of the game. My biggest adversary right now is probably coffee. I love my coffee. So alcohol's not an issue. Sugar's definitely not an issue. Anything like that for me is not a big deal. But that's where we're going to start. So I'll give you full information tomorrow about how we're going to start this, and then how we're going to fast forward it and keep it going. God bless you, and I hope to see you again. All right.